Hello, CIT-12 Summer School. This is going to be a 10-minute, I promise, video on how to succeed in CI-12 Summer School. First thing, summer school is going to be over before you know it. Our normal term is 18 weeks, and in summer school it's a third of that, so 6 weeks. And the first week is just kind of understanding the platforms, understanding how Canvas and MyLab IT are integrated together, and they're not integrated. I'm trying to make them integrated, but it's very difficult to do. So it's like you have two learning management systems to master. Canvas you're probably already familiar with, but then you have to learn MyLab IT as well. So it takes you a couple weeks to get the hang of that. So with that in mind, I have revamped the chapter quizzes. So as of now, the chapter quizzes you can take 3 times. You can delay. I forget what it's called. You can stop and then restart without incurring an attempt. So you can do that. And I have set it's called the mastery level to 80%. It just means that I want you to get at least 80%. If you get 80%, if you get 80% on on everything, on all the points in MyLab IT, and if you do all the discussions in Canvas, which you should do because those are basically free points, you just have to do the discussions, you'll get an A in the class. So wouldn't that be nice, getting an A in summer school? And guess what, you'll actually learn something about Windows, you'll learn something about Word, and you'll learn something about Excel. Excel is a skill that employers want right now. So when we get to the Excel module, which will be next week, well, I guess 10 days from now or so, pay special attention to that. Anyway, let me quickly go through how to succeed here in summer school. First of all, when you open our class, you'll see that you are in Canvas. So some things I can put in Canvas that belong to Pearson, like this Pearson narrated PowerPoint for chapter 1. So I can
Technology in Action, 16th edition.
I can do that, right? Some things I can't. Some, like the chapter quizzes. So I can put the PowerPoints for the quizzes there, but the e-text and the actual quizzes, you have to log into MyLab IT for that. So let me show you how to do that. As soon as you can, some of you have taken advantage of the 14-day grace period that Pearson gives you. That's fine, but don't go to day 15 because all the work that you did in the first 14 days is going to be for naught. So make sure that you get your MyLab IT account as soon as possible. When you go to course materials, you'll see, I'm in student view. You'll see this menu, right? So course materials, this is where you find the e-textbook. There's nothing in the syllabus. I use simple syllabus, so just ignore that. The PowerPoints, maybe this is the best place to start. So let's say we're in chapter 1. You can look at the audio PowerPoint presentation or just the PowerPoint presentation. Look at those and then go back to follow the breadcrumbs back here, course materials, and go back to e-textbook and open up our e-text. And I need to find a PDF of this, and then I can create a study bot for you, but I don't know. I've been looking. It's Pearson is hiding it from me. I need to somehow find a different way to do that. Anyway, here's our beautiful e-textbook. It does have a notebook here. You can actually make personalized notes, and it has flashcards. For adaptability, you can make the text larger or smaller. See, I'm in chapter 1, so I would expect these flashcards to be here. You can create your own flashcard decks if you want. So key terms. Let's just look at this for a second. It looks like the key terms are in alpha order. That's okay. It's fine. Crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, digital divide, ethics. So you might just take a few seconds to go over what the key terms are in here, and then you can jump right into the quiz, because you can take the quiz 3 times. So go back to course materials. Now this time you're going to look for a section called exams. Here's exams. All right, so we just studied chapter 1. So let's go to chapter quizzes and chapter 1 quiz. Click on that and it'll start. Now this quiz must be taken in a single sitting. That nomenclature there sounds kind of weird, but it means once you start it, it must stop. However, I have it set for, I forget what the setting is called. It's like a timeout or something. But let's say that you're interrupted, with life, or your favorite, I was going to say your favorite show, but now everything's on demand. You can watch whatever you want, whenever you want. So let's say you're interrupted, you can pause it. And that pause, when you start again after the pause, it doesn't count as an attempt. And you pause the 60-minute time limit. Okay, anyway, so let's just pretend that we're taking our quiz now. So cognitive surplus results when leisure time and available tools allow us to engage in creative acts. Which of the following is not true about deep learning? That has to do with AI, so a subset of machine learning. Which of the following is not a main area of research in artificial intelligence? Cloud computing is not. The others are. And let's do one more. The term computer literate describes someone, that's going to be you, who is familiar enough with computers to understand their capabilities and limitations. So let's save for later. Now, are you sure you want to save and close this activity? Yes, save. Okay, so I just did chapter 1. I've taken it a few times, so just ignore these those scores there, but let's go back, and it should pick up where I left off. Start. Yep, very good. Okay, so here's the 4 that I answered. Now, if I click, I do have it set for it must be done all in one sitting. So I'm sitting. I could pause and take that break, but it won't let me. This button right here will not work. You must answer all the questions. Okay, I think in chapter 1 there's 56 questions, so we won't go through that. We'll just save those for later. Okay. So save. Anyway, that is how you take a quiz, and 3 attempts. Make sure you get at least 80%. Why 80%? Because if you get 80% on all the points in MyLab IT and do, I was going to say all the discussions, do most of the discussions in Canvas, for goodness sakes, you're going to get an A in the class. Wouldn't that be nice, getting an A in CIT-12 in summer school, and then you don't have to worry about taking CIT-12. Let's see, the other things that we have, because I broke the quizzes down into to-do dates based on the week that we are studying the chapters. You can find them here. So this is assignment calendar. If you click on this little blue icon here, you'll see what is assigned that week. So here's chapter 1 quiz that we just went over, and I'll show you, I promise I'll show you how smart students way to succeed for simulation training and exam in just a second. But you can see what is due, week by week. Now here's a bonus for summer school. Even though these are due, and it looks like we do have a lot of work next week, you have 2 chapter quizzes, and for goodness sakes, we have to get through all of Word, simulation training and the simulation exams that week. Yes, you do. The bonus is I accept late work. I accept late work until when? Until the final day of class. So, which happens to be July 26th. Yep, July 26th. So do not ask for an extension past July 26th. I'm going to say no, sorry, our semester is over. I have to turn in grades by noon on the 29th. Otherwise, I get a phone call from my dean. That is not good. And you won't make me do that, because you'll finish all your work by the 26th. So if you just keep up with the normal curriculum pattern here, you'll be okay. I'm not saying it's nothing, because it's a lot of work, right? It's 18 works condensed into 6 weeks there. All right, let me go back to the simulations. There is a video, there's a Pearson video on the simulations, but I will show you best way to learn how to take the simulations. So the first simulation module is Windows 10. And this says, so sign into Windows using the account, which is mylabit.user@hotmail. How that is? Oh, it's already here for us. We just have to enter mylabit1234 as the password. So mylab1234. My IT lab. See, they spelled it. The new name is My Lab IT. However, I see the old lab that was here for the last 15 years or so everywhere, and here's a case of that. So My IT Lab, lowercase 1, 2, 3, 4. Press enter. Okay, that worked. This looks like a real Windows message here. Remember, this is an emulation. This is just a program that looks like Windows. So if you get something like this, just click on it and say no. Now, then I'm supposed to do this: display the home page of the settings. How the heck do I do that? Here's how you do it. Go down here to the bottom, Learning Aids, and click on Watch Video. And this will show you in 43 seconds everything.
On the
that you're doing for
taskbar,
this
in the
step.
Notifications area, click the Action Center icon and then click All Settings. In the Settings window, click Personalization. Below Choose Your Picture, click Browse. In the Open dialog box, click Butterfly.jpg. Click Choose Picture. In the Settings window, in the left pane, click Lock Screen. Below Choose Your Picture, click Browse. In the Open dialog box, click Bahamas.jpg. Click Choose Picture. In the Settings window, click the Close button.
Okay, it seemed like that was a lot of steps, and it was, but guess what? You're going to learn them one by one. Whenever you learn something new, take it slow, and then you'll get some muscle memory going, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you will learn this, okay? So the first thing that we're supposed to do is display the home page of the settings window. Oh my gosh, I forgot how to do that. It's okay. Just go to Learning Aids and go to Practice. So now
On the taskbar, in the Notifications area,
we are practicing display the home page of the settings window. And here's the practice hint. On the taskbar, it's here, the taskbar, in the Notifications area, right here, it has this little red and white box around it. Click the Action Center icon and then click All Settings. Okay.
click the Action Center icon and then click All Settings.
Okay, so now I do that. Action Center and All Settings. Ta-da! Now try it yourself. Alright, so this, All Settings. Ta-da! Okay, so I did that I did that step right. Now it says change the desktop background. Okay, how do I do that? Go to Learning Aids, go to Practice, and it will show me.
In the Settings window, click Personalization. Below Choose Your Picture, click Browse. In the click Choose Picture.
Now try it for yourself. So personalization, let's try it for ourselves. Change the desktop to Butterfly. Close all windows except for settings. So personalization, background, browse. I'm going to do Butterfly, choose picture, and close all windows. Whoops, what did I do? Oh. Change the lock screen. Okay, so I did not do that, so I did not get to advance. That's a good demo. So lock screen, now I have to Bahamas, right? Choose Bahamas. Choose picture. There we go. Close the settings window. Okay? Okay, that's it. So, yeah, just, I think the simulations will be fun. Don't get frustrated with the simulations. They're very good, and you can pause them. I think I have them set for, you have like 10 attempts to do it. And, oh, and you get points for the training as well as the exam. So I'm sure this is probably set to 70%, but try to get 80%. Try to get 100%. Try to get as many points as you can on My Lab IT, okay? And then you'll have a wonderful experience. All right, I went way over 10 minutes, but hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully I motivated you a little bit to get started with My Lab IT. And one final thought, one last thing. It's not integrated with Canvas, okay? I have actually reached out to My Lab IT. I've asked for their API settings. I said I want my students to know exactly where they are in the class, right? I mean, what a concept. You're taking a class, you want to know where you are and what you need to study for. But I haven't heard back from them. So until we get a new version of My Lab IT, this is how it's going to be. We're going to have two separate systems, My Lab IT and Canvas. However, I want you to be aware of how many points you have, because you can go to grades. Let's see, student info. I can show you. You're not going to have, you won't see instructor gradebook, obviously, but you should see your individual grades here. I hope Jerry doesn't mind me showing his grades. Okay, he hasn't submitted anything, so that's fine. But anyway, at the end of every week, tell me what you have accomplished here, and tell me what your grades are, and tell me how you're doing in My Lab IT, okay? And again, I'm not going to say I'm sorry, because it's just the way it is, but we do have two separate systems here, but somehow you're going to have to communicate with me how you're doing. So you can do that where in this here, week 2 check-in. So how was your Word? How was Word? How many modules did you complete? How many chapter exams did you complete? And then you get your 10 points there. All right, I will apologize for the long video, but thanks for hanging in there with me, and good luck in summer school CIT-12. Paka paka.